Going home. Who knows that what we call death is really life, and life is death? By Socrates. The story, Going Home, by Ruby Rose from the Entombed in White book of hers. Joshua opened the door to his loft and walked right over to his beloved paints. He immediately picked up a paintbrush and dipped it in the satiny black oil paint. Reaching up to the ceiling, drew a mere black slash on the path above to depict death, who would be walking slowly behind him on his final journey. It was 1976, and Joshua, a young man of 30 years of age, had just returned home from the hospital. He is in his final stages of leukemia, which was slowly rendering Joshua to a shadow of himself. His skin is white, his body is totally hairless, and there are deep black hollows around his vacant eyes. While in the hospital with all its sterility, Joshua felt as if placed in an alien black and white world which seemed to heighten his predictable death sentence, thus entombing him alive, making the sentence interminable. Joshua wanted to begin his final journey his way, into the depths of his soul. The land masses of his life had now come adrift, reminding Joshua of an old, colorless nightmare from long ago. Joshua remembered that he was standing on an ice floe somewhere in the Arctic and was feeling secure until he felt the ice cracking up beneath him. Instinctively, he jumped onto the larger pieces. Sigh of relief washed over him. But then this one broke as well, and he hopped from patch to patch. And now Joshua had a sense of the ice floe coming apart inside him, and he needed to leave that colorless world. Joshua was an artist needing colors, his vibrant blues and reds to feel alive. He was weary and in pain from seeing a world in whites of the hospital, and so demanded to be released in order to die amongst familiar and more colorful surroundings. Joshua was unmarried and lived alone in his loft, a large storeroom of sorts within a large building that he was able to rent rather cheap in the city of about 100,000 people in the province of Nova Scotia. He had lived there since 1970. Joshua's mother and father lived about 500 miles away, and from time to time Joshua would visit them. To all, he appeared to be a loner, as he was always totally immersed in his art creations, perpetually trying to capture the perfect hue, the perfect color. His stoic silences did not make him approachable. Thus, Joshua walked alone in his colorless pain. In between creating paintings, which he sold to provide his bread and butter and pay the rent, Joshua began a mosaic of colors, a mural on the ceiling above his bed that was in a designated corner of the loft. He painted one cherished, memorable scene after another from his past, forming a continuous story of special events, complete with a pathway leading from one to another. Joshua discovered and used color combinations of blues and reds befitting great artists of yore. And this is what he wanted to return to soothe his soul, to see again, and perhaps to be a part of. Joshua looked up at his ceiling, his journey of colors now complete in a myriad color grades throughout, and his eyes became alive again. He knew that what he wanted to do, his masterpiece of colors above, was vibrating with the lightsomeness in the darkness of Joshua's present world. His airspace was now filled with pulsing sensations once more, beckoned to Joshua as he lay on his bed. Every scene was exploding with swirling movements of luminous colors against the backdrop of heavenly blue. As they flowed across the ceiling, as Joshua looked up at the scenes unfolding above him, he pulled himself back deeper and deeper into his mind, let himself travel down the path, pulling the memories with him and pushing the pain away. And with just one silken thread of sanity, Joshua began traveling on down the pathway again and feeling, tasting, and seeing all the tableau coming alive just for him. With the black shadow of death lurking over his shoulder along the way, Joshua knew it would be a long, slow journey, as he did not wish to walk in haste. He needed to pause along the way and savor. He also knew he had all the time in the world to enjoy.